Hello, good evening, and welcome to our Stream Live Facebook, where I am hosting Michal, who referred to me with an issue that I figure out that it might be interesting to investigate on her shadow. I'm Dr. Avi Goren-Bar from jungiancoachingschool.com, and we will start at 8 o'clock sharp. Meanwhile, I want to tell you that by mid-February 2021, we will start our online Jungian Coaching School, where you can join us and take, sorry, you can join us and study with us online the 6 modules of the Jungian Coaching School that we are running in 4 domestic countries. Now, as a result of the corona, we shifted the program for an online program. This is a program that is accredited by the International Coaching Federation, ICF, as an ACSTH program, which qualifies you to become a accredited Jungian coach. Thereafter, you will apply for supplementary study, short study for accredited coach ACC. Jung said that the bigger the tree, the bigger the shadow. And good evening, Michal.
Good evening.
I asked previously from Michal to fill up the pizza in order to figure out her activities, and I would like her to explain to me what she filled up and she's invested a lot, and what is missing in her life, just to figure out who is this lovely lady that joined my coaching session.
Well, I think that this pizza reflects my age. I am sort of retired from a journalist career, and that's why the career now gets such a small section. And I'm much more interested in health again, maybe because of my age. I guess when I was in my 20s, I wasn't so interested in health. I was always very, very into friends, and I still am. Family is the most important part in my life. I have 4 children. I have 6 grandchildren, 2 more on the way. Um, Intimate relationship, I think, is very important, and it's important with my kids, with my friends, with my husband, with everybody. Spirituality,
Spirituality?
yeah, that's always important, but it's less than it was in the past. What do I see here? Community volunteering. Yes, that's very important. And I am active in the village I live, definitely. Personal growth. Well, I think that's what makes you tick in life. You have to always feel that you're growing and going forward. Pleasure. Um, I, I think I'm a little harsh on myself, so that's why it's not
The issue that you referred for coaching is bringing us a question whether it will or not be a pleasure.
Very good.
So while I'm asking Michal to, this is their conscious level, what she's aware of, what she can report from what she knows. While I will talk to you 2 minutes about her pizza, I will still ask Michal to sort out 3 of these cards to see how she corresponds unconsciously to archetypes, because before I go working on the shadow with Michal, I need to understand whom am I sitting with, and therefore just look through and let the cards choose you. They will tell you, choose me, and then you put 3 cards on this. Now, gossiping about Michal, this is a lady that her ego is very developed. And this tells me that I can really go deep with her because she's invested in many areas. And indeed, it is expected at her age that there will be a decrease if she chooses to decrease her career and money and she's happily married, and maybe he supports her or them, and to invest more in intimate relationship and the family. Intimate relationship and the family. So this is 8 o'clock now, and I will just summarize what we have done so far. Michal referred to me for a coaching session, and with the issue that she came up with, I figured out that we are going to work on her shadow. As I just recently mentioned, the bigger the shadow, the bigger the tree, the bigger the shadow. And since Michal has filled up the ego functioning, you see she has quite a developed ego, and therefore we might be needing to cope and see how she is dealing with her shadow. In compensatory approach to the conscious level and the ego, I asked Michal just recently to sort out 3 pictures of the archetypes, and let's see what she has chosen. The first card, she will read aloud what it says.
Okay. Human need to balance polarities. Excuse me.
Well,
Is the
let me read it for
yeah?
you.
It's
Human needs to balance polarities is the compensatory function which enables you to stabilize. This means that it's either you have it or you wish to have a need to mediate, not to have conflict, to be okay. Maybe we will see how this corresponds to your shadow, that you don't want to have conflict,
exactly.
nevertheless you are involved. You want to
I want to be balanced. I want to have peace. Yes.
you want to have balance and to have peace.
Yes.
The other one, wow, this is human mythology. Not only mythology, but history. The overall legacy of legends, fairy tales, and mythologies, which tells Michal about human traits and needs, which means you are either connected to your ancestors, to your roots, to your needs for connectedness, or you wish to have it. What is your, how does it resonate?
I'm just in love with David. I always was.
Why?
Oh, he's so handsome.
Yeah, that's
That
that.
is true. It's true.
What is true?
No, what was written there is true. Yeah, I am connected to my ancestors. Yeah.
Bravo. And the last one is individuation. If you had to become either this one or this one,
Oh, of course, the one that helps.
the one that helps. Can you repeat it 3 times? Of course.
Of course, I want to be the one that helps. That is helped. Of course.
Bravo. So if you want to be the one that helps,
Yes.
can you tell me why did you refer to me to coaching? What is the dilemma that you are intrigued with these days?
Well,
and tell me in detail so that I can understand.
Okay. A few weeks ago, my mother, age 88, fell and broke her hip, and she became disabled in a second. And I invited her to come and live with me. I am sure that this is the right deed to do. I'm happy about it. I'm excited, and I'm also terrified.
You're also
I'm
terrified.
terrified also. Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit the conditions? What do you prepare for that?
Okay.
How are you? Yeah.
I'm making big changes in my home to make her a separate individual unit where she's going to live with her caregiver. And it's very important that we both still have independent lives, but still, I can't imagine how this is going to affect my life, my husband's life, the life of my children that come to visit, her life, the caregiver. There's so many unknown questions here, and I find that I can't sleep at night. I'm so troubled.
You can't sleep at night.
No,
You're so
I'm so troubled. Yeah, I'm very troubled. I'm also happy, but I'm also very worried. So,
You remember that when you chose the 3 cards,
yeah.
and let's see how relevant they are to this topic, you want things to be balanced.
Yes. Sure.
You are the helper.
Yes.
You are the helper. This is your mom,
Yes.
and you go out of your way to help your
True.
mom,
Yeah.
and you are connected to roots. I mean,
Yeah.
sentimentally, you feel that you need to do it. This is the nice part. You are a gorgeous daughter and a gorgeous wife and a gorgeous person. Nevertheless, there is something that is threatening you.
Yeah.
If worse, if worse comes to worse, if worse comes to
Yeah.
worse, what is the nightmare that you can
It
imagine?
will be unhappy. There's no going back. There's no way. This she's coming to live with me, and this is the last station. She's not going to move anywhere else. The worst that can happen is that it will be unhappiness for all of us.
You're afraid that you will arrive to a state where you will be terribly unhappy, but there is no way to go back.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Because we are recorded, and I know there is here a contradiction. On the one hand, you are emotional because it's a very intimate issue, and on the other hand, you have to speak loud for the audience.
I'll try.
So
I'll do
let
my
me,
best.
yeah, you'll
I'll
do
do
your
my
best, and I
best.
appreciate it deeply.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. So how much are you ready between 1 to 5 to grab the devil that lies in within your homage that you are bringing your mother at the age of 88 to live with you? Between 1 to 5, how much do you want to touch the sheet?
No, I think that
Speak loud.
if we touch the sheet, I'll only gain from it.
Repeat it again.
I'll gain from it.
If I touch the sheet,
Yeah,
I'll gain from it.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So take a deep breath of air and tell me how awful your mother has been, was, or how a burden or a pain in the your mom can become.
Okay, my mom is very bossy. She always was. She still is.
Can you tell them? She says that her mom is very bossy.
Okay,
I want you to hear that.
she's very bossy.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful, intelligent, interesting person. She's still sharp and inspiring. But as
Nevertheless, Shadow.
she was a very, very harsh mother when we were young children.
Can you give me example? Just a concrete
Oh,
example. Breathe well
all
and
right. She used to spank us.
really.
Yes, she used to spank us. She had no role. She had no model because she grew up in a very broken family, and she had to figure out things on her own. And she really tried to do her best. And only when I became a parent did I understand her good will and her really genuine will to be a good mother. But as a child, I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah. Michal, you're very, very gentle because you see things from perspective.
Yes.
But really give yourself courage. Let's figure out, because you said something very, very important. If I'll face the troubles, I can assure that we will overcome the challenge.
I think so. Yeah.
And I am interested in helping you to face the challenge. She spanked you when you were a child. Where else did you feel that you are abused? Mothers are not good enough mothers usually. Mothers bring children because of egocentric a need. We just discussed something about it while we were waiting. Motherhood is something intuitive, is something instinctual, and you're bringing your mother when you're a grandma yourself. So, okay, she spanked us. What else?
It was a house with many, many rules.
Many rules.
Yes, many restrictions.
Can you give me an example for this rule?
We had to be very, very polite. We had to eat.
You had to be polite,
Polite. We had to eat correctly. We couldn't.
eat correctly,
Yeah, very, very politely.
very politely.
Um, it was a house with many, many rules. Too many rules. I felt. And when I became a parent myself,
No, no, don't be a parent
okay,
because then you
okay,
are. Let's stay with this
okay,
mom.
okay.
This mom.
Okay, it wasn't just that. We were newcomers. We immigrated from the States.
Okay.
And she was so different. And she didn't.
This is important because here, when you bring her to the village, she will also be different. So can
She's
you?
very different till today. She
She's
doesn't
different.
speak the language.
She doesn't speak the
No,
language.
till today she doesn't speak the language. She's definitely not an Israeli. She's still American. And she was always very, very different. And she never fit in. Never.
So I will give you now a plastilina.
Okay.
I will give you now plastilina. And choose the color that can. Yeah, do it. Yeah. Yeah. Choose the color that fits your mom's shadow. Yeah, maybe it's lights or who knows. Unbelievable! Somebody closed it. Oh yeah, here it is. Bravo. So choose the color that will fit most the shadow of your mother.
I'm choosing yellow.
Because
That's her favorite color.
this here again you are protecting her. So what is the shadow of yellow?
For her, it would be brown.
Yeah.
She hates brown.
She hates brown, this is what you want.
Okay.
She hates brown and this is what you want.
Okay.
Keep the yellow, maybe you'll need it.
Okay.
And while I'm tearing it, I'm doing it Israeli this time. Now, try to make a sculpture that will represent the evil, the burden, the negative side of your mother, of which you are so much afraid. Because she's not coming for a weekend visit.
No.
She is coming to stay, live with you. And yes. No, I prepared this for you.
Okay, thank you.
Here we go.
Okay.
And can you please, while you do this, repeat after me, Mom, I'm going to represent this part of yours that I'm afraid of.
I'm going to mold a part of you that intimidates me and scares me.
Repeat it 3 times and loud.
Mom, I am going to make in clay something that represents what worries me, what scares me about you.
And take your time. And, it's a paradox. Enjoy this piece of art,
Okay.
the artifact that will really do you a service to represent this part that intimidates you and explain what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea.
Bravo. So let it
I
go.
have no idea.
It's your unconscious that is leading you.
Okay. Okay.
Can we lift it up
Yes,
to
of course.
show?
Please don't ask me what it is.
Yeah. Just repeat. You are the part.
You are the part. Intimidates me?
Yeah.
That worries me, intimidates me. Okay.
Now I want you to hold a dialogue with this part.
Okay.
It says this part that represents your mother's negative side that might burst out.
Yeah, it might.
Hi, Michal. Hello, Michal.
Don't really know what to say about this. I really don't know anything.
No, wait. This part is talking. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know how to explain you.
Who I am.
I don't know how to explain who I am.
Maybe you can interview this part. Why did you come up here?
Well, what do you think you represent? Why do you think I made you in such a shape?
Let's say analyze it physically. It has ups and downs. Does your mom have ups and downs?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
She's more straight. Yeah. Balanced.
She's a very private person, and she never reflects her feelings.
Can you reflect it to become very private?
To the clay?
Yes. This clay needs to represent your mom. Let's give it a try. I'm not sure it fits you. But let's say your mom is a very, 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 very
Yes.
private.
I think this is more.
Yes.
Yes.
More her.
Yes.
Very private.
Yes.
Very private.
She doesn't really share her deep feelings ever. You know, on the surface, everything always seems okay, but we don't know her real, true feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else is an obstacle with your mother that you can curve it out for?
Well, I can say that I really have a difficulty being with anybody in the world long periods except my husband.
Mhm.
And that scares me.
You might not stand her sometimes.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Okay.
You know, we're both very different people. And she also likes to be alone.
Put her in your hand.
So I made two different pieces. One is me and one is her.
No, this is only her.
This is only her.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't manipulate.
Okay.
Let me look at you.
Okay.
Look at me.
Okay.
When we reach
Yeah.
the shadow, the shadow is a trickster, and you are now trickstering. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
This is your mom.
Yeah.
This is not all your mom. This is that part in your mother that you are really concerned about. Okay? Hold it in your hand. Tell her, Mom, I'm concerned about this.
Mom, I'm concerned that you're so private and so closed and so much to yourself, and I usually don't know what you're really feeling.
Yeah. And it will be very hard to live with you when I don't know what you actually feel.
It might be hard. It might be hard.
Tell her.
It might be wonderful, but it might be hard.
Let's stay with the hard.
Okay. I'm hoping for the wonderful.
But you came here
Well, what
because you are
happened?
concerned
Yeah,
about the hard.
The hard may be that I'll need more space for myself, and I'll need more of my individual life, and it's going to be taken away from me.
Tell her, give me space. I'm suffocating.
Mommy, please try to give me space and try to help my life stay as much as it can be like it is now. That's what I would like.
Mom, can you go downstairs, please? I want to be by myself with my husband.
That's hard to say to her. Would be hard.
Try. It's a laboratory of change.
Okay.
Try. Mom,
Mommy, we really need our own time now. We need our own.
go downstairs, please.
Can we meet tomorrow morning? Would that be okay if we meet tomorrow morning?
What does she answer you?
Oh, she would say sure. Yeah, sure, no problem.
What happens the next morning? She has
Well,
bad faith?
no. I think that the next morning we'll both wake up with different energies and we can face the reality, I think.
Yeah. So now you have to write on this paper
Yes.
a contract. And before the contract, let's make a lesson.
Okay.
What is this lesson that the negative side of your mother is teaching you? What lesson in your life are you going to learn that you know the arrival of your mother is going to teach you? Right.
Well, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm
take your
thinking.
time.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm learning how to accept some.
Right.
Like,
I will be learning.
okay, can I write in Hebrew?
Yeah, I will translate, or you will translate.
Okay. I will be learning to accept the different and the different and the different person.
The different and the other side of you.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. We're very, very different
What
people.
else will you learn?
I have to learn um, to make my boundaries. I'll have to learn how to say what's on my mind, even if it's not comfortable, because that's the only way that this is going to succeed. Because if I hold in things, it's going to burst out one day.
So I will learn to be
to stand on my,
to stand on my boundaries.
yeah. Mhm.
To stand on my boundaries. What else will you learn? So please realize, Michal, that now we are separating from the object you projected on, that is to say, the negative side of your mom that you dialogued with, and you are coming to your internal lesson with which you will have to deal. This is the real challenge. Okay? So one is I will learn to accept the other. The other one is I will learn to set up boundaries.
Yeah.
What else will you learn from this experience?
Compassion.
Even when it's not convenient.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
good.
I'm going to have to be very patient, and I'm not a patient person.
I will have to learn to be patient.
I'm not a yeah, I don't have patience. That's the core of it. Yeah.
I will learn to be
Yeah.
patient.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, because we don't want to practice it on your 88 years old mother,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take this back in your hand
Yeah.
and tell your mother how grateful you are that she's bringing you this opportunity to upgrade yourself at your age
Yeah.
on such wonderful values.
Yeah. That's a lovely idea. And I'm thankful for you for saying that. I think I would like to make.
Yeah. It's wonderful that the unconscious is smoothing your mother's shadow.
Yeah.
This is a result of the process. That once you befriend with your shadow,
Yeah.
once you have the courage to face your shadow and to define your shadow, automatically you befriend with your shadow, and this inferiority and weakness turns into strength. This is the paradox.
Mm-hmm.
But the obstacle is that it's very hard for you to see how terrible your mother can become. You hope you won't have to face it.
No, she's really not terrible. She's a wonderful person.
Bravo. So what is she? What is she?
It's hard for me to be with people.
Now you're in a good place. You say it's about me, not about her. Is it?
It's about me, and it's also about her because she can be very bossy. She wants things done her way.
She can be bossy.
Yeah, very bossy. Yeah. She wants things done her way, and we could have conflicts on how things should be done.
Okay.
And this is my house.
Do you want to start again? I'm patient. We can go back and curve this into your mother's shadow, but hold it in your hand.
Okay.
And tell your mother's shadow how grateful you are for learning, for you're expecting to learn it. Now we will see. You will take some homework, of course, on yourself, how to prepare yourself on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I am grateful that I'm going to learn through my mother's staying with me how to accept somebody different. I'm going to have to learn to keep my boundaries, which is not natural for me. And I'm going to have to practice compassion, even when it's not convenient and comfortable for me. And I'm going to have to learn to be patient, which is again not natural for me because I'm not patient in life.
Um, can you tell your mother's shadow
Mm-hmm.
directly, not to me,
Mm-hmm.
what is your plan?
Bobby, I'm going to try to make it as wonderful as can be.
Specify.
I'm going to try to be patient. I'm going to be compassionate. I'll stand on my boundaries without being aggressive and insulting. And I will learn how to accept you, although we're so different from each other.
Repeat it, please, but give yourself homework in every category. because you see, you are. I'm definitely sure that you have goodwill from the moment you entered here
Mhm.
in my office. I'm sure about your goodwill. You invest money, and I understand that you are supported by your husband. Nevertheless, with the shadow, goodwill is not enough. You have to hook yourself. Your mom is not the issue here. Your weakness is your issue.
I
How
think
will
you're
you
right.
learn to accept her? What will you tell yourself?
Listen, I have no choice. I have to. I have to accept all
Yeah.
these points. I have to.
Okay.
Because it
So
won't work if I don't.
we will do another last exercise.
Okay.
I will stand up and
Okay.
sit behind you. Stand behind you. Face this chair.
Yes.
Stand up a moment or just slightly. Yeah. You can sit, please.
Thank you.
This is Michal,
Yes.
and these are the assignments.
Okay.
Says the assignment to Michal. Says the assignment
Okay.
to Michal.
Okay.
You have to be ta-ta-ti ta-ta-ta.
Okay. You're gonna have to learn to accept somebody that's very different from you with different views. You're gonna have to learn to be patient. You're gonna have to exercise compassion. And you're going to have to be very patient. You're going to have to exercise being patient, although it's not natural for you.
Sit there.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
But
Who's this now?
the one that it's very difficult for her to be compassionate and patient and.
Okay. 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 This is an opportunity for growth and development. And although all these points are not easy for me, I am going to make a big effort and really try to accept, to be compassionate, to stand on my boundaries, and to be patient, because I really, really want this to succeed with my mom. I want her to be happy. I want to be happy myself.
But what happens if?
There's no if. There's no if. It has to succeed. It just
Michal,
has
there
to.
is no if.
There's no if. It has to succeed. It must succeed. There's no way back. It has to succeed. And I hope it's also going to be fun. I hope I hope it's going to be a good experience for me and for her.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's discuss a bit from a distance the process. Do you have any concern after you did all this process about your intention to bring your mom?
No, I don't have any. No, no. And I never did have a. I'm very complete about the decision. And it's also something in my genes because my mom did it for her mom.
Uh-huh.
My mom brought her she was 82 years old after she became blind. She brought her to Israel and she
corresponds to this.
Yeah.
Tradition.
Yeah, definitely.
Roots.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And also to the help. My mom was very helpful to her. So this is something in the genes, it's something in our tradition.
Do you understand that your mother's shadow is an opportunity for you to upgrade your
My personality.
your personality?
Yes.
Did you understand this?
I understand and it's very exciting.
Yeah. It is not posting. It's about changing something inside you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something to,
I want to do acknowledgement. I want to tell you that I'm impressed that in our age, when we are supposed to be quite egocentric, you are going to give up a lot in order to enable your mom better conditions.
True. But this is the right thing to do. This is what I should do, and it's what's needed now. So I'm doing the right thing.
Nevertheless, maybe I helped you a bit not to go blindly into this excitement.
I think you did because these changes in me are going to be blissful for myself and for the people that surround me. Because it's not easy to be somebody that's not patient or somebody that's not accepting. So I think everybody's going to
benefit.
Everybody's going to benefit, and me too. Everyone. Also, my kids, my husband, everybody.
Thanks for being so courageous to share with us.
Thank you. Thank you for the procedure.
With your permission, just a little bit of information about the shadow.
Yes, please
join us. So, because some colleagues are there, and I want to gossip about Michal. Michal is a restricted person, and to look at your shadow, you need to look at things that are either evil in our personality or that we are short of. And my impression is that she might need another coaching session once her mother lives 3 months with her. So, with your permission, I want to give her a bonus. You can use me again when you will be deep into this contract that you have created here, that you are going to practice daily to accept the other, to present boundaries in a decent way so that your mom can surrender to or withdraw to their own territory, to show compassion when it's not in your disposal or in your availability because convenience, and to be patient.
Thank you so much.
You have my telephone.
I'm going to accept.
Okay, well, that's good.
Thank you so much.
Nice to have you here. So, do we have questions or comments? I hope you heard that the volume was loud enough. It's very interesting. The plastilina, when she started working with it, was quite rigid. And when you work with the shadow and you mold it, it is in the ego's service, symbolically. It's too far, I cannot read from there.
Just a moment. We are looking for questions. It's time to ask.
People can come online, or it's.
They are asking. No, they can't come online.
Should I move out of the frame?
No,
You are our guest, but it has to be very close. Often at the age of moms, says Alexandra, the deepest shadow that may come in the future isn't personal. It's the physical, mental difficulties that advanced age can bring, and it's how everyone manages this in their own way. Do you want to respond to this? She's coming with Kamal.
She's true. What you say is
Tell
very
her,
accurate.
tell her. She's
What you're
she's
saying is very accurate. Very, very accurate. My mom's coming with a caregiver, but I can't even imagine the obstacles and the challenges that time may bring. You're very correct.
yes, Avi, says Danica Vidmar. Hello, a good colleague and friend. Yes, Avi, I have a question about your intervention in plastilina. You took it and changed it. That was a shock for me. The art that we are using in coaching is in the service of the process. We are not worshiping the art. When Michal did this curve, that was her original, that was her kind of this, that was her original artifact. But the text that she came up with didn't fit that. She said, my mother is very private. I wanted to demonstrate for her how in the art, being private turns like this. And I got the approval. Now, Michal is here, let's check. Because I think that in your question, you are asking, how dare I invade into the client's creativity and into the client's unconscious creation. So let's ask Michal. When
You helped me out.
I helped you out,
Yes, you helped me out.
help me out now with Danica.
I felt stuck. I didn't understand why I made this, and it didn't feel natural and it didn't feel correct. And then when Avi made the spiral shape, I felt this is right. This is what I should have done, and he helped me out. Yeah, I was grateful.
Avi, while Michal was doing a dialogue with the contract sculpture turned into smooth, rounded ball. How did the shadow transform then? Well, this is interesting. I told you, the more you approximate to the shadow, this shadow is quite gentle. The shadow that Michal presented is quite gentle. You know, she speaks about her mom's, these are memories from childhood. She keeps saying, my mom is a very nice person. Nevertheless, she is afraid and she came here to prepare herself. So the moment she is grasping, holding the shadow and looks at it and talks to it, it smoothens and becomes more, not friendly, but acquainted or easier to digest. And I think that this is where she started intuitively to mold it. That was amazing. That she said, she like saying, I'm befriending with it, I can handle it. Now it's more handy. And Alexandra writes, yes, let me read. No, there, but it was great. There, but it was great. Because you have the love and intention, it will see you through. Michal, I am in awe. Didn't understand. Because you have that love and intention, it will see you through. Michal, I am in awe. Sounds positive, but I don't know. Maybe you can specify more. What do you mean? Andrea Tamashi. Hello, Andrea. I will meet you next week. And can you work with a client shadow if she or he doesn't have a developed shadow? That's interesting. I don't know what you mean by developed shadow, but the shadow is not developed. The shadow, let me speak about the shadow. Jung says that the shadow is an instinct. And Jung says, developed ego, sorry, aha, okay. Okay, let me refer, this is interesting. Jung says that the shadow works as an instinct. And when the ego is tired, when we are under stress, the shadow will burst out. So I don't want to predict, but if Michal's mother will be challenging, if Michal's mother will become too challenging, and we don't control life, but if Michal's ego, that is to say, if Michal falls sick, or if Michal has a tension with her husband, or for positive, if Michal will host her children with grandchildren, with this grandma in between their legs, when Michal's ego will be deteriorated or shaken or pressed, this shadow that we are discussing today will jump out. And for this, she needs to make a strict contract that it's easy to be compassionate to mama under routine, but under stress, it will require further self-awareness and further self-control and maybe further support from husband. And for that, she needs to talk to him and say, listen, in times when you feel that my ego shrinks, support me with an extended ego. So yes, the enemy of the ego is the shadow. And let me just tell you that it seems like a week ago, but yesterday, because I worked too much and because I have a pain, terrible pain on my right shoulder, I splashed a whole cup of boiled tea on my laptop and I made it kaput. This means the shadow jumped into my exhausted ego. Now I had to go to laboratory. It's raining here. It's winter. It didn't help. The laptop is gone. I had to go 2 hours one way to my son, get his wife's laptop. The ego is learning to pay the price that the shadow burst out. And now I want to remind you again and again that if you are curious, if you find it interesting to adopt this language, to acquire these tools, to learn to use the Jungian coaching card that we developed, our online program, the sixth module, I'm teaching myself 3 days weekend, 6 months, and you get the ICF, ACSTH accredited Jungian coach certificate. You will get to know people from all over the world that will become a learning group. You will extend your contact list and you will learn a lot about how to use the unconscious in the service of the ego. More questions? More comments? Next month, we will have another webinar, and I will be very grateful for more comments, for applying. Come into our site, jungiancoachingschool.com, and you will find all the details about the online program that we will start in 2 months' time exactly. Have a nice evening. Thank you so much. So much.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed every minute. Thanks.
Good evening.
Bye.